Hi, Devin.
Counselor Pringle. He's here somewhere.
He is here, yes.
Counselor Mackey.
Present.
Counselor Barfoot.
Present.
Counselor Burley. Counselor McQueen. Warden Halliday.
I'm here.
Counselor Patterson. Present. Counselor Hicks.
Here.
Counselor Clumpus. Present. Counselor Greenfield.
Present.
Counselor Body.
Present.
Counselor Wright.
Here.
Counselor Fosbrook.
Present?
Counselor Woodbury.
Present.
Counselor McKean. Counselor Ardell.
In attendance.
Counselor Eccles.
Accounted for.
Counselor Bell.
Present.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe a few were caught in the snowstorm and will arrive a little later, so. Anyhow, we're going to, if anybody has a declaration of pecuniary interest, they can declare it now or later on in the proceedings if need be. So we're going to begin by the adoption of the minutes. And that the first will be that the minutes of County Council meeting and Committee of the Whole meeting dated November the 8th, 2018, and the resolutions contained therein be adopted as presented. Put that on the floor. Motion, Councillor Bell, seconder, Councillor Clumpus. Any discussion on those minutes? Councillor Fosbrook.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. We had a discussion about delegations to ministries, and I should have looked it up, I apologize. What is the deadline for submissions?
December 10th.
December 10th. Well, I just wanted to make the comment that, you know, given that we at the municipal level are the government closest to the people, I wonder about not just delegations to provincial ministries, but opportunities in the future for delegations to federal government. So I think that there are additional opportunities to take up discussions, and I just hope that that would be part of the thought process in the future. Thank you.
Thanks for that input. Any other input? Okay, all in favor of the motion on the floor? That motion is carried. Thank you. The next is that the Committee of the Whole closed meeting minutes dated November the 8th, 2018, be adopted as provided to County Council. Put that on the floor. Councillor Barfoot, Councillor Wright. Any discussion on those minutes? We have to go into close to discuss it. So is it necessary? One, two, three.
I suppose I could address it otherwise.
Thank you for that. Any other? All in favor of accepting the motion as written? That motion is carried. Next is the Long-Term Care Committee of Management meeting minutes dated November the 6th, 2018, be adopted as presented, and that the recommendations contained therein be endorsed. Put that on the floor. Councillor Burley, Councillor Greenfield. Any discussions on that long-term care minutes? Councillor Fosbrook.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I did take the opportunity to attend that meeting. I was a little disappointed that I didn't hear any discussion about really what was a bit of an expose in the long-term care business and industry. But that aside, I know that the committee did approve the terms of reference for the Committee of Management. And I just want to question the terms of reference, page 2.5, each member of the committee shall. Point 5, promote and communicate positively with the public about Grey County long-term care. I don't know if that wouldn't be more appropriately stated as promote and communicate accurately with the public about Grey County long-term care. My concern is that if we're restricted to saying nice things, then we could perpetuate bad things. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that comment. Do you want to make a comment, ma'am?
If I may, Council, if you look at page 11 in your package, there was a discussion at the table with regard to the W5 program that discussed long-term care and the class action lawsuit. Sonia Freeborn from Sienna did advise the committee that the Superior Court of Justice issued an order discontinuing the class action lawsuit against Sienna Senior Living. So they were removed from that lawsuit. And so I think that was made clear to everyone who was in attendance.
Thank you for that, Madam CAO. Any other points? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? Motion's carried. Item D is the Performance Evaluation Committee meeting minutes dated November the 15th, 2018, be adopted as presented to County Council, and that the CAO Performance Evaluation Committee closed meeting minutes dated November the 15th, 2018, be adopted as provided to County Council. We put that on the floor. Councillor Pringle, Councillor Barfoot. Discussion on that? Okay. Yes, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. So just to clarify, will we in fact be going into closed session?
Council wishes?
Yeah,
If we wish?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, do we approve this before going in closed, or? Okay, so, call the motion. All in favor of this motion as it's written? Thank you. We have an option of going into closed meeting if it's so asked by anybody. Otherwise, we can proceed. Yes?
I will so move.
All right. Do you need a seconder for that? Is anybody seconding that motion? Councilor Eccles. Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor? All right, so we'll now go into closed session.
Pull my way over.
Okay. Everybody's back here now? Okay, so we're going to move into the next phase of our council meeting, which is the reading of bylaws. And we have 4 bylaws that I want to put up for approval. The first is a bylaw to appoint the auditors of the Corporation of the County of Grey. The second is a bylaw to authorize the closure of bike lanes on roadways in the County of Grey until April the 15th, 2019. The third is a bylaw to authorize the disposition of certain lands in the municipality of West Grey as described in Schedule A for the development of affordable housing. And the fourth is a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of Council of the Corporation of the County of Grey. Put that on the floor. Councillor Burley, Councillor Mackey. Any questions? Yes, Councillor Fosbuck.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. So the first bylaw has some wording that I don't recall having seen in the past. Clause 2, shall act as auditors for the Corporation of the County of Grey at the pleasure of council. So this is a requirement. Is there an interpretation of the use of pleasure of council?
Pardon?
Kevin can.
Kevin talks about pleasure, so. Well, I think generally everybody understands what it is. It's a sort of a legal term for a council.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I would just reiterate that I have concerns about the very longstanding 47-year tenure of the same auditor, and I would consider the consideration of alternatives might be appropriate. The third bylaw, affordable housing, I don't believe this bylaw in its entirety was included in our last staff report. Am I correct in that? And so has this bylaw had legal review? It has. Pardon me?
Our county solicitor has reviewed
Thank you. So the first page of the bylaw refers to, well, I guess, if we get to page 27, which is the first page of the agreement, perhaps that should be titled as Schedule B to the bylaw in question?
Fine, we'll make that change.
Thank you.
That's duly noted. Councillor Barfoot.
Thanks, Mr. Warden. Just a question regarding bylaw on the proceedings of council. We, in the lower tier, we used to do the same thing annually, and then after discussion with Nigel Belchamber, his suggestion was to do it per meeting. And I guess I just asked the clerk's department, you know, obviously you have to do it before year end. You have to do that. So just, I guess, a comment on the process to do it annually.
Madam Clerk.
We do it annually. I will say we've always done it that way, but it's certainly something that I can look into in the future.
Any other questions on those bylaws? Seeing none, all in favor of approving that bylaw, that motion is carried. Next is good news and celebrations. Barbara Klumpus, I see up first, and we'll take all the good news and celebrations we can take. So Barbara, start.
Good morning, everyone.
All rolling.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I would just like to take this opportunity, since it is the last council meeting of this term, to thank all of those who are not returning to the Horseshoe for the wisdom, the information that you have shared, the support that you've given us newbies in 2014. I've learned a lot. It's been a great 4 years, certainly a growth experience for me, and I really appreciate and value the wisdom around the table, the experience and the history. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all. For those who are not returning, you will be missed. We hope that you'll stay tuned and help out when you can. And best wishes to everyone in their next career change. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words. Around this side of the table, Councillor Barfoot, you had some words of wisdom?
Thanks, Mr. Warden. Just to follow up, I guess, with Councillor Klumpus, I think we're all available for a fee for consultation moving forward. Actually, I guess the point I was going to make, if people haven't noticed through the media, that Georgian Bluffs is now known as the 6th most safest community in Canada. As I said to the press, I don't care how you get that information, as long as it's there and we can publish it and toot our own horn, we're going to do that. So I think we were #1 a number of years ago and have slipped to number 6, but that's fine. Anyway, as I say, any good press is always good for any municipality. So anyway, we're just tooting our own horn.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Yes. As long as you remain in the top 10.
That's right.
You're Councillor Burley, the new mayor there, so, okay.
We'll be watching that record to see if it's
Okay. See if you can beat that. Okay. Any more on this side? All right, let's start up this side. Councillor Ardell.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. The last county council meeting, I told you we did an episode with I didn't tell you it was with Bayer Chemicals. So Bayer Chemicals goes right across Canada, promoting pesticides and herbicides and different chemicals for farmers, so they did do these episodes. So episode 1 was released yesterday, November 21st, so Real Farm Lives, you can go on YouTube and see their wonderful episodes. Episode 2 airs November 29th. I haven't seen episode 3, and I don't even know when that will be aired because it's all top secret. So it just is promoting Grey County and Clarksburg and how farmers really live and what we do and how we're promoting apples in Grey County. So it was nice that they chose our family to promote this, and we look forward to seeing where it takes us.
Well, thanks for that update. That was really nice that your organization was chosen to represent Grey County. Thank you. Councillor Boddy.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I want to say you're welcome to the mayor of Georgian Bluffs. We're quite happy to have them have those nice low criminal stats and to keep sending their criminals into Owen Sound, because we like to be at the top of the pile or close to the top of the pile. This Saturday, there's two really neat events going on in Owen Sound. One at 11 o'clock in the morning down by the library. We're having a plaque unveiled by the Consul General of from Poland. During the Second World War, there were a number of troops that trained in Owen Sound and Owen Sound area. Actually, I think some of it was out in Sarawak. Polish soldiers that came from Poland, came from across North America, Canada, and the U.S. to train here to go overseas. One that many of us will know is Saul Podnick, who had the Grey Bruce salvage out on the highway. That returned to Owen Sound after the war, very Polish, raised his family here and was very successful. So it's nice to go back and recognize that history. The other piece of history is, of course, that we've got a tour of our new city hall starting at 2 till 4 if you want to come down and see how money is easily spent. And just, Gail, John, you didn't pay for 26.1234% of that. We're doing that all of our own. So it's a pretty nice building. We're really proud of it. So please come. There'll be free cake even if you want. Thanks.
Thanks, thanks, Ian. That's great information. Yes, Councillor Eccles.
Yeah, a little bit of an update. There's a number of retirement ceremonies going on through it. I had the opportunity to be one that Georgian Bluffs put on for Mr. Barfoot on Tuesday night. There was one going to be this afternoon for a neighbor mayor who was retiring, Dave Ingalls. I just wanted to inform everybody that was thinking about that. That has been not canceled, but going to be rescheduled. Mr. Ingalls has had a bit of a medical incident. I was able to find out a severe case of vertigo, and they had to cancel their council meeting on Monday night because he went down and was hospitalized for the last couple of days. But I was talking to Helen, his wife, yesterday, and he's stable. The type of retirement, go home and put your feet up, wasn't quite how he expected to be doing it, but anyways, he's doing fine. But the retirement party that was scheduled in Walkerton for today at 2 to 4 is going to be rescheduled, so they'll let you know sometime along the way.
Thanks for that update, Kevin. Councillor John McKean.
Thank you, Warden Halliday. I just, as an outgoing member, I'd like to just thank all the county staff. I know that it's been, as Councillor Klumpa said, it was a real learning experience, and I just want to thank staff for all the great work that you do, and putting up with the indiscretions of politicians. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Speak for yourself. Yeah, Councillor Fosbrook.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I, too, would like to thank council as well as staff. It's a privilege to serve. I very much appreciate, I'm not even sure how to phrase it, the perspective, if not predicament, of staff. I found everybody to be respectful, and I appreciate their endeavors to ensure that those elected and accountable do so with good information. So that is much appreciated, and I wish all the best to the new elected council. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words. Well, I don't see any more hands, so we'll call this good news and celebrations to an end, and we'll ask for an adjournment of this particular session. Councillor Barfoot, Councillor McQueen. This session of County Council is adjourned, and we will reshuffle the papers and come back in a moment.